Hey, what's up guys? It's adreN, and I'm going to go over crosshair placement in the video. Aiming is one of the most inconsistent factors in CS, so you want to make sure that everything else that you're doing is consistent so that you can still perform well even if your aim isn't top notch that day. Because a lot of players have consistency problems in CS just because some days their aim is bad and some days their aim is good, and that's really what they're relying on the most. And you shouldn't rely on your aim the most. You should rely on how you're setting your angles up, how you're playing the situations, your crosshair placement, and crosshair placement will definitely help you improve your consistency because it'll help you do less aiming technically. So getting right into it, I'll show you guys the incorrect way to take cat here that a lot of people do, and I'll show you the correct way. So let's say a lot of people will play the crosshair placement like this. Let's say we have an enemy right here. So we're coming around the corner, and a lot of people will just automatically aim where they think he's going to be. So like this. Kind of just pre-firing. Your aim is already at the corner, so there's not much adjusting when you get here. You can already pre-fire him. But the correct way to take up cat would be to just take your crosshair, make sure it's always at head height, and then it's kind of just attached to the corner of the wall, so you're just like glued to the corner of the wall here. So you're coming around like this. If you come around the left wall here, your crosshair's a little bit out to give yourself the reaction time, and then you're just kind of coming around the wall like that. And the reason why this is better is because let's say that enemy isn't there. So a lot of the times, sometimes that aiming is good because he happens to be there and you do pre-fire him, but a lot of the times there'll be people in positions that you don't think they're going to be in. So let's say we have a guy there. So if you're coming around catwalk and using the style of aiming where you're pre-aiming, say we're coming around here, oh, we see him, now we have to react in our head that, oh, he's in that position, move our mouse, and then aim, and then click to him. And any movement of your mouse is obviously going to be inconsistent than not moving your mouse. So you really want to move your mouse as least amount as possible when you're aiming. So in here, so with this style, you're going to react later because you have to move to your mouse, then click, and you're moving your mouse more to get to him. Instead of using this style of crosshair placement where you just snap to the wall here, your crosshair just very snap to the wall, and you're kind of just walking around, boom, you see him now, there's barely any adjustment needed. His headshot, or his head, should be right in your crosshair, and all you do is click. So there's less adjustment, it'll up your reaction time because you're already on him, so you can click faster. So this style should definitely help out being consistent. You can come around here, and this style you'll take catwalk. You'll want to take, after you clear out this spot here, you'll want to check that spot. So let's come around here. Let's say, oh, that spot's clean. We snap now to this wall here. Boom. Once that's clean, you snap back to your next spot that you want to clear. So we're snapping to this wall now. And that's another spot right there, so you might want to even pre-fire that one. And after you're done clearing that, you might want to snap up here and then snap back to the wall that you're clearing. Let's show when you might not have to do that and you can use the pre-aiming style. Let's say you're long A and your teammate's in pit, so they know for sure this area is clean. So let's say if you're an opper or even a rifler, you know that area is clean, so you don't have to snap your crosshair to this wall here and do all that stuff. You can kind of just pre-aim at the corner here and just worry about peeking and reacting as fast as possible like that, you don't have to worry about someone being there. But if your player is not in pit, your teammate's not in pit, and he could possibly be anywhere out here, so let's say, we have a guy out there. He's right there. He's that barrel. And we use that kind of pre-aiming style again. We're so focused on actually getting to the corner that we want to pre-aim that we're just going to expose ourselves a lot more and cause ourselves to hit a flick shot and, do more adjustment than is needed. So we're pretty much just going to come up here and make the peak, and now we have to flick over here. So you want to make sure if the area in front of you is clean before you use that kind of aiming style. And if you were to use the other kind of style where you can just come around like this, you would see him, You know, like that. A lot of people will use that kind of aiming style where they're aiming through the wall, and they'll have to do a lot more adjustment than is needed. That's why even when you watch the pros, you're like, oh, I could hit that shot, I could hit that shot. It's just because they're aiming, they're setting themselves up so well, and they're making the shots easy for themselves. Another time when you can use the pre-aiming style of crosshair placement is when you know the enemy definitely can't be in the corners. So let's say we're terrorists, we spawn, we rush long A. We come through the DDs here. There's no need to like snap to the DDs here and obviously peek that corner. There's no way you can be there. And even like, you don't even have to snap here really. You would do that if you came out late long because he could be close here. But you know that they could only be at the corner, so you could just come out like this and then pre-aim the corner. And after you peek the corner, you snap to this wall and then come out and check the pit spot. You know, after you check the pit spot, you may want to snap back. Your crosshair should just never be in the middle of nowhere floating, so that, you know, some people might think, oh, I'm in between the pit and the corner, so I'm halfway between each. But that's wrong. You should at least be at one of the two. Alright, so let me just show you another quick example of how I would take Archway with my crosshair placement. And you kind of have to know the maps and know what you need to clear out so you know what to snap your crosshair to. So I say we're coming up arch here, so my crosshair snaps to this corner, and you might want to pre-fire that corner, and then I'll snap my crosshair after I clear that corner out. I'll snap my crosshair here, clear out the closet there, and then I'll snap back here because he's more likely to peek me here. So I'll come up right here, and I'm walking this slow so you can get a grasp on it. There's a spot you might pre-fire, and then I'll snap back to this wall. There's a spot you might pre-fire, snap back to this wall. There's a spot you might pre-fire. And then, once I get this far, I'll check my closet, snap back to Moto, and I'll walk up Moto like this. And then, when I'm checking the archway, see how I'm changing my angles too? I'm going to go wide and peek this. And I went wide and peeked this, so I see more. So when I peek the archway, I'm not peeking like this. I'm peeking and adjusting my angle like this. I'll peek that. That's a spot you might pre-fire. Then after that, I'll snap back to Moto here. And when I'm coming up here, I like to keep my crosshair here, snap to this angle, rather than snapped here, because I think he's more likely to peek me at Moto than he is to peek me here. Usually if a guy's in library, he's trying to get that information and he's trying to peek you as soon as you peek that corner there. So I find it better definitely to keep your crosshair at headshot level right here. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on social media. Twitter is @Hoagsta, Facebook.com/AricAdreNHoag, and my Twitch TV channel, Twitch TV /adreN_TV. Thanks for watching, guys.